Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha Bhagima. Sri Ganesha, Sri Ganesha, Sri Ganesha Rakshama. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha. Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri yogiramsuratkumar Sadguruve Namaha. yogiramsuratkumar, yogiramsuratkumar, yogiramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. By the grace and blessings of Siddhi Mukti Valampuri Vinayagar from Kanimadam, yogiramsuratkumarmanthiralayam, and by the grace and blessings of Yogi Ramsuratkumar, I am proudly introduce a great man who came to Kanimadam, Yogi Ramsuratkumarmanthiralayam. His name is Mr. Major Puru. We warmly welcome the great man.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. It's great pleasure to welcome Major Puru. He is from Singapore. He is going to share his few words about Ashram and our Swamiji. Welcome you, Guru. Could you introduce yourself?
Greetings to everybody. My name is Major Purushottaman, known as Major Puru for short, and I'm all the way from sunny Singapore.
பரமனின் புதல்வாணி வரங்களை தந்திடுவாய் கரங்களில் மோதகத்தை ஏந்திடும் நாயகனே கரங்களில் மோதகத்தை ஏந்திடும் நாயகனே அரங்கள் காத்து என்றும் அருள் புரிவாய் ஆனந்த நாயகனே.
Thank you, Major Pro.
Thank you.
I will ask next. When did you meet Swami Pon?
Yes, I first had the pleasure of meeting Swamiji Pon about 6 to 7 years ago in a devotee's house. It was a very, very brief visit, but when he blessed me, I felt the vibration. And it dawned on me that this Swamiji has something in him. But because of our schedule and he had to fly back, I did not have an opportunity to meet him. And I next met him about 3 years ago, again when he came to Singapore, over breakfast. After breakfast, he blessed me with a bunch of leaves called Vepla. And when he hit me with the Vepla and with some holy water that he earlier on prayed, I couldn't express it in words. I felt as if I was a fresh, liberated guy. And one thing led to another, and it was not up to 2 years later, after the third year, that 5 years later, the calling to meet Swamiji Pon at the ashram came, and I visited him. And you will not believe it. That particular year, I visited him every 3 months once. A beautiful place, peaceful, not the state-of-art building, but he had got all the bare basic requirements where we can have a good sleep, meditate. Eateries, restaurants are nearby. and above all, the prayers that he conducts to my Supreme Commander, Valampuri Vinayaga, is beyond words. I cannot express it. And after that, I'll follow Swamiji, where he prays to Yogi Ramsuratkumar. So that's how I met him, and that's how it evolved. One thing led to another, and here again I am, as I mentioned earlier on, after the 2 years break because of the COVID. I'm so happy, delighted to be energized by this great man, Swamiji. To have visited the Swamiji at the ashram for about 6 times now. And I first came to know, heard about Swamiji Pond about 7 years ago. And it was only about 3 years ago, the calling and the urge to get to know the Swamiji came a bit more profound. And I took that opportunity to visit Swamiji. And as I mentioned, this is, I think, 6th or 7th visit at the ashram. I was waiting for the COVID to be over for 2 years, because of the restrictions and travel. We couldn't travel at all. And when the restrictions was recently lifted, bang, I came and I flew. And I'm now in the blessed company of Swamiji Pond at the ashram.
அம்பிகை புதல்வாவும் அருள்மழையில் நனைகின்றேன் அன்பரை காத்திடவே அடிபணிந்து கேட்கின்றேன் அம்பிகை புதல்வாவும் அருள்மழையில் நனைகின்றேன் அன்பரை காத்திடவே அடிபணிந்து கேட்கின்றேன் பிள்ளையார் துளி போட்டு என் செயல் செய்கின்றேன் பிள்ளையார் துளி போட்டு என் செயல் செய்கின்றேன் பிள்ளை என் குரல் கேட்டு வந்தருள்வாய் பிள்ளை என் குரல் கேட்டு வந்தருள்வாய்.
Thank you, Major Bro. Very interesting. Could I ask this question?
Please do.
Have you heard about Yogi Ramsuratkumar Swamiji?
Yes, indeed. I heard about the Yogi. Thanks to you, Swamiji, that as I hear about him, read about him, and the shared stories of the miracles that your devotees have experienced, I am amazed by this great saint. And when he gave me a book to read about him, it broadened my knowledge about the Yogi. I'm still learning. And as I learn and as I get to know him, I'm getting closer to him. And I'm very surprised that the Yogi is even well known beyond India, Singapore, in Australia, and from some devotees in America. And I hope that the prayers that the devotees, the requests the devotees are putting at the lotus feet of the Yogi will be answered. And I hope that the prayers that is being conducted by the Swamiji daily, twice a day, early in the morning and in the evening, with a quick puja in the afternoon, for the past 30 over years, is now having a profound effect.
பேயன் புலி நகரின் கன்னி மூல கணபதியே ஆயன் நாரணனின் மருகனே குணநிதியே பேயன் புலி நகரின் கன்னி மூல கணபதியே ஆயன் நாரணனின் மருகனே குணநிதியே தும்பிக்கை நாயகனே உமையவள் பாலகனே தும்பிக்கை நாயகனே உமையவள் பாலகனே நம்பிக்கை வைத்தவர்க்கு அருள் புரிவாய் நம்பி அருள் புரிவாய்.
That's good, Major Pro. Have you seen any other temple beyond our ashramam?
Sure. Has always made sure that my 3 or 4 days stay, my stay is normally very short, not more than 4 days, but the days are packed with activities. Morning prayers, and after a good breakfast, Swamiji will bring me to visit the various temples in Kanimadam. Beautiful temples. Some of the greatest temples that I've met are located here at Kanimadam. Kanisa Temple, Lord Anuman, Lord Shiva, the whole renowned gods, deities are located here.
ஆனந்த விநாயகனே, ஆனந்த விநாயகனே, ஐயனே பரமனின் புதல்வானி, வரங்களை தந்திடுவாய், கரங்களில் மோதகத்தை ஏந்திடும் நாயகனே, கரங்களில் மோதகத்தை ஏந்திடும் நாயகனே, கரங்கள் காத்து என்றும் அருள் புரிவாய்.
Great, Major Puru.
Thank you.
Can I ask another question?
Please do.
Apart from Yogi, have you met anyone in ashramam?
And yes, if you were to ask me if I met anyone at Kanimadam, I met many people, many saints through Swamiji's grace, but one person that I fondly remember and always make it a point that Swamiji brings me to visit him is Yogi Maunam. I was very surprised at my first visit because this yogi does not speak at all. He speaks through his penetration eyes. He blesses you with his eyes, and that's something so unique that I cannot express in words. And I visited him for every time I come down to visit Swamiji. He never fails me to get that added blessing of this yogi. And I inquired a little bit about the yogi, and the little that I know, he has not uttered a single word. He has not spoken to any individual. He communicates with the divine, but with a fellow human being, he has not uttered a single word for the past 20 over years. And yet, the vibration, the blessings he gives you with the show of his palm is something that I cannot express in words. Or rather, I had the greatest divine pleasure of meeting another Swamiji in the making, not a Swamiji born, but he is, I'll call a junior Swamiji, but with full of vibration. He is an astrologer, a Brahmin astrologer. I had a short session with him, and the little that I got my doubts, my prayers clarified. Yes, he is another person that I'm so happy to have met. So there are many other people that I've met. Time is too short for me to say, but you got to request Swamiji, and he'll find the time to bring you around, and you'll have a very pleasant, divine experience meeting these so many people.
Thank you, Major, for spending your valuable time with us and giving a wonderful interview about Swamiji and the ashramam of Kanimadam.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my little experience that I have had at your ashram. and for your divine blessings daily. And thank you everyone for giving me your time to listen to the interview. Thank you. Jai Vinayaga, Valampuri Vinayaga, Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Kanisa.